How are you doing, Mr. Anonymous?
I'm doing quite fine.
First of all, I want to thank you so much for coming to interview with us to finally give out the truth about this new corrupt governor. How are you feeling today?
Oh, I've been kind of sick all week. I've had some pretty bad diarrhea, but other than that, it is quite fine.
I I relate to that.
I know you
Anyways,
do. Anyway,
as you have seen in our most recent news article, our first ever actual news article, you have inspired us, right?
thank
Jack
you.
Lamb responded to us and said that we have 24 hours to take it down. And he sent me a cease and desist letter. What do you think about that?
That is perfectly something that Lamb would do. Lamb would always do that. Whenever I was in his administration, he would always be having us search for things that he would write cease and desist letters for. It was constant.
And why do you think he does that?
I think he's
You think
afraid.
it's to silence the people of San Andreas? Because I don't know if you've noticed, but anytime someone speaks against him, he just sues them, silences them.
I think Mr. Lamb is afraid. I think he knows that when other people find out what he's done, he gets afraid that they're going to say something. That's usual for Mr. Lamb.
And what is it exactly that he has done?
Am I able to say this on air?
I promise you, no one will know who you are.
Mr. Lamb has plotted for a while and has successfully sent out and ordered the killing of Mr. Colin Perez, the Paleto Bay mayor. On
Now,
top of that, he has committed thousands, if not thousands, of counts of fraud against the people that he serves.
I want to circle back a little bit to the Colin Perez situation because obviously, I think that is the most known part, right?
Absolutely.
Why do you think he did that? If you do know, of course, but I think we all know why, especially after the news article I posted.
I think that Mr. Lamb was going down his list of people who were going to be potential governor candidates. I think that he was afraid that maybe once Perez had served his second term, if he had served his second term, he would go for the governor spot. I think that Mr. Lamb did not see Perez as fit for the position.
Why do you think Lamb believed that he was not fit for that position?
I don't know. I never knew much about why Lamb thought what he did. He was a bit crazy, but I never really understood. I don't know. I think it was something he had against Perez. Maybe it was something he had against Perez's administration. He had to silence him, one way or another.
Now, adding on to the whole governor candidate aspect of things, I don't know if you know this, but there was a very promising candidate named Grant Hurtado who was running, and he was doing very good. Have you heard of this person?
I've heard his name once or twice. I just don't know him that well.
And I will say, I think it is very, very well. I don't even think it's a coincidence. I just think that it's very interesting how a few days after Colin's death, the most promising candidate in the election, other than Lamb, is mysteriously dropped out.
That is very weird. One thing I do want to
You
mention
might have
about
any knowledge
Lamb.
on that?
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
One thing about Lamb is if he knows that there's competition, he will do everything in his power to make sure they don't get a single word out. Nothing that they can do can benefit them. Everything that Lamb does only benefits him. As you were saying.
Now, I do want to get to know a little bit more about you, as I'm sure the people watching this do too.
What do you want to know?
While you were working for Lamb, what were you exactly?
I don't know if I can say this publicly. I used to work as a journalist, and then I made my way up into a position. I don't know if I can say. I might, some things might happen to me.
It's okay.
I don't feel comfortable explaining
It's
my
fine.
position.
It's fine. But other than Lamb, do you think the vice governor, Vincent Serrano, do you think he might be involved in this too? Do you think he's clueless to this situation?
Lamb is pretty good at hiding things. I think that Serrano, I think that he knows. I hope not, because Serrano has people backing him that are loyal. They're not being bribed and paid, like under Lamb. I hope that Serrano does the right thing. Whatever the right thing might be.
Before we bring in our next witness, is there anything else you would like to say to the public about the corruption of Governor Lamb?
I think that it is essential that everyone watch out and do their research on who they're electing for the next season. Mr. Lamb, he has a backstory. He has problems, especially with his marriage. Have you heard about his marriage? His marriage is horrible.
Oh yeah, trust me, we know.
Yeah, he can barely, his hairline is horrible. Have you heard
He
about his
doesn't
hairline?
have one.
Yeah, I know. He's bald. Anyway.
Anyways, thank you, Mr. Anonymous, for your time.
Of course.
And now we will be bringing in our next witness.
Of course. Of course.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time that we bring in our next witness. This person has actually decided that they want to reveal themselves upon their own discretion, which is very brave. I want to introduce Dr. Sachs, Psychiatrist Sachs, to the chair.
How's it going?
Well, Dr. Sachs, nice to meet you. Go ahead and take a
It's
seat.
nice to meet you too.
Go ahead and take a seat for me. Now, Mr. Sachs, first of all, I do want to appreciate your bravery for letting us put your name out there. You are a credible source. Just to start out, I'd just like you to inform the people on what your job is and what is your relation to Mr. Lamb.
My job, I'm currently employed as Jack Lamb's psychiatrist. Once or twice a month, I'll try to meet with him to, discuss how he's doing, how he's feeling physically, mentally, and I'll send what's wrong with him off to the guys over at SA Healthcare.
So, I'm sure you and Lamb meet a lot, right? Based on maybe your conversations or past meetings, what do you think Mr. Lamb has been going through? And do you think that his mental stability is enough to, be in his current position as governor?
Well, in my professional medical opinion, I do not believe he is fit for his current position. The times that I have met with him, he has complained that his relationship with his wife and being the governor of San Andreas is bringing him down mentally, which let's be honest here, anyone can understand that. On top of that, he also has the allegations that he wears a toupee. And well, that's an interesting story for later.
I agree with that. I do want to say, what type of stuff what type of concerning things have you heard Mr. Lamb say? Specifically, maybe. Maybe about running for a second term, or maybe some plans that he wanted to do for his first term, but he couldn't, or maybe something to do with, next election's governor candidates or mayors.
Yeah. So, regarding governor candidates, there have been quite a few strong potential ones out there, such as Grand Theft Auto and the recently deceased Colin Perez. I remember one day I was running late to meet up with Mr. Lamb, and I had run into him in the hallway while he was walking through the White House with his team. Odd-looking bunch they were. A couple of them had long rifles on them. I didn't think much of it. I mean, I guess I should have thought something was off when he was mentioning that the recently deceased Colin Perez had a strong chance of becoming governor of San Andreas in the upcoming elections. It's hard to explain it without, having without,
It must take a lot for you to come on here and on the air and explain to the people, right?
yeah.
But I do have a question regarding your anonymity, right? Why has it not been publicized that, Jack Lamb has a psychiatrist? Or why haven't these documents been, given to the FIB about Jack Lamb's mental state, about him being able to possibly make a huge mistake that'll put the state in jeopardy?
Regarding his mental state and medical notes that I've taken down, I have tried to pass those on to the FIB. However, they stated that there's nothing that they can do. Allegedly, in their own words, they have been in talks with Jack Lamb about rigging the election so that he wins this upcoming election.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Where did you get that from?
I got that from the FIB's chief of staff.
Who was their chief of staff?
Johnny Leonida.
So you're telling me that Governor Lamb is collaborating with the FIB to rig the next election?
Yes.
I didn't even know this. Does anyone else know?
I believe his vice governor knows, as well as another FIB agent named I think his name is Adam Morecharges? I could be wrong.
All right. To end this off, Mr. Sachs, would you like to say any final words to the public? Anything they need to know about Lamb? Or maybe the rigging of the election? Any final words?
Yes, Jack Lamb is a dangerous man. If you let him in for a second term, he will destroy San Andreas. He will turn it into pure chaos. He will turn it into a dictatorship. Do not trust him. Do not vote for him. He is mentally unstable and he is going to ruin San Andreas.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sachs. We'll make sure that we keep you safe. All right. Cut it.